that I got with Anna Crownley as my coach. This game is just, how can I say it? Just for practicing. As you can see, for example, here is my picture and here is the avatar of her. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to just hit on start review, and I am also uploading a video while I am making this review. That's it. Okay, I will hit on the
They're
next one.
quietly getting their pawn ready to push in the center. Oh no, careful! Bringing the queen out too soon can make them a target. Your opponent is about to claim space in the center with the pawn. Wow. Nice work. That prepares your bishop for development. Well, that's a fair move. Okay, you could have played better, but it's not collapsing.
Okay, here I'm gonna be honest with you. Here she saw it like if I was kind of a beginner, and I'm going to be honest to you. The problem is that when you move the pawn from in front of the rook, it is usually when you move it kind of on the fifth or sixth or seventh movement of the game. If you don't know what you are doing, you are quickly taken, let's say, as a beginner. Because if you move the pawn of the rook, it's kind of like a wasted movement if you don't know what you're doing, okay? But in my case, I knew what I was doing, and as she's a bot, maybe she thought that I didn't know what I was doing. But I am warning you just for you not to get offended when you see that she says, for example, that like if the game is just ended just right when you move the pawn of the rook. And the truth is that for many players, it's like as I told you, if you move the pawn of the rook, it's kind of if the game is almost won. Even to me, when I was in beginning in this journey as a chess player, I always thought that if an opponent moves the pawn of the rook at the beginning, for me is kind of a winning, you know. But I learned when to use this until a moment that I could even start the whole game just with the pawn of the rook. Let's continue, okay?
Their better move was to prepare a bishop for development. This is fine, but it's not going to help you much. Developing their queen so early is not ideal, Okay, good job. Blocking the check with that queen really keeps your king safe. Oh no, your opponent's moving the same piece twice already? Isn't that a little slow for the opening?
Okay, as you can see here, I was controlling the center, and that is a basic of chess. And instead she was not. Why she was not? The thing is that she was on level, not level, punctuation 60 of 600 of Elo, and I am just practicing my chess. I am not like pushing too further. I usually play, for example, 2 games with real people and 1 game with my trainee, with her, you know. And the games that I play with her are not to win. No, are just to learn, you know, just to learn. And that's why I'm not desperate if I win or if I lose. What I try to do is to see what are especially her opinions rather than the movements, because I know that her movements could be even better than these ones. She is not a beginner. Anna Cramley is a very good player, being honest. But as I said before, I like to see the opinions because as a friend that I got some years ago, he said, if you don't know what you're doing, it means that, I mean, if you don't know how to explain, sorry, if you don't know how to explain what you're doing, it means that maybe you don't know what you are actually doing. And that is what I wanted to see on her. I want to see how she explains the movement, even though she's a better player than just 66 of 600 of Elo. Doesn't matter. I prefer to see it slowly, and that is the right way. I mean, in my opinion, if you learn humbly, you learn faster. As you can see now,
there were worse options, but something was much better.
as you can see, the queen is kind of lost here because it's kind of covering the center, but at the same time it's trying to attack. And why she's in that situation? The thing is that I got my queen covering the king, and apparently to her that is a very very common movement, and she doesn't know how much what to do. Sorry, just
There, you defended the pawn. It is no longer hanging. Good job. You are now able to win a rook through a discovered attack.
uh, as you see, this is a very bad movement, but it's not a bad movement. It is a bad movement just in the side of the, how can I say it, on the machine, because at the end she's covering that I don't move further. If I move, for example, this pawn and this pawn is not here, it would be a very very dangerous movement, because if she takes, let's say, with the bishop, I will be able to retake again with this pawn here, and that will be a very bad loss or lose for her. Let's continue.
A discovered attack. You'll win a rook. What? Oh, that queen can be captured right away. Your opponent, you kind of just left that bishop hanging in the breeze. No! You had an opportunity to capture a free queen. What? They took your hanging bishop? That's just so sad. Nice awareness. You managed to keep the rook alive. Good job. Did they really leave that queen undefended? You can grab it free.
Okay, here you can see
What? You kind of just left that bishop hanging in the breeze. No!
she
What?
just
They
took
took your hanging bishop? That's just
my
so sad.
my bishop, and I moved
Nice
the
awareness.
rook
You managed to keep the rook alive. Good job.
because it was kind of the best movement I could have at that moment. If I left the rook over there, it was just like giving it to her just for free.
Did they really leave that queen undefended? You can grab it free.
I grabbed her
You
queen.
grabbed a free queen. Good for you. Your opponent's rook has entered the game. There was something better to do other than that.
I
What
don't
was
know.
the mistake, though?
I don't know if you have realized that
Your opponent's rook has entered the game. How exciting.
she's
You grabbed a free queen.
she's
Did they
winning
really
in
leave that
certain
queen?
way.
Nice awareness. You managed to keep the rook alive. Good job.
She's winning in certain way, but at the end, I got and I stayed with my queen in the same position, and also, I mean, just like if it was not even needed to move. I just moved the horse that was here, like if I was expecting the movement itself. I'm going to be honest to you. To lose one of the move of the pieces in the lateral spaces is normal. To try to be too obsessive when it comes to a normal game, it can give you just maybe a win of a technical game, but not exactly as a truthful game. I will just hit on play here.
Did they really leave that queen undefended? You can grab it free.
To reproduce, so you could see it just alone. Okay, here is a mistake that I committed, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yikes, their knight sleeps away. Your opponent is avoiding a material loss.
Dear, you can
Yikes,
see.
that move leaves your queen hanging. Gotta watch out for those freebies.
Look, this one here is able to take the queen. And it was overconfidence. Be careful with that when you're playing chess. Don't let the overconfidence lead your game, okay? That was what happened over there. Then she took my queen, and I was, oh, sorry, that was a very bad moment. But I was still having the advantage because I had the two rooks in a very good position. And having the two rooks instead of the two horses, being honest, is better because rooks move more straight in smooth than horses. Even though you could be very good using horses, and I'm going to be honest, horses are very, very useful. It doesn't mean that they are actually, for example, better than rooks in certain way. For example, you will see that I will make the checkmate with the rook and the queen, and that's it. So if I try to do it with the horse, it will be a little bit more complicated, and it will be like kind of a waste of time, which I didn't want to. I just move the queen and then move the rook, and that's it. A normal checkmate. So see you the next time. Being honest, it was not a difficult game because she's not on her, let's say, on her maximum level or maximum capacity or something like that, and I don't want to put her on her maximum capacity. I just played with her just to see the commentaries. I like to listen her commentaries because sometimes the commentaries of her especially hide like the strategy behind that are very similar. Her strategy is very similar to mine, and that's why I even chose her as my trainee. I played with her like 3 games or 4 before I chose her as trainee. In I think that it was 1,200 of elo, and I made a checkmate if I am not wrong, and she made like 2 checkmates. And I was wow, okay. And being honest, in one of those checkmates, I was kind of like weird. As I said, was this an honest checkmate or no? I even chose another trainee, but then didn't pass not even some minutes, and I decided to take her back just because I know that she is like, I don't know why, she's kind of like she has she's the only person that I have found that has the same way of thinking when it comes to chess. And you know that when I am giving advices about chess, they are very kind of weird. You don't find it everywhere. And being honest, she has kind of the same speciality, and that's why she's my trainer. So see you the next occasion. I hope that you have learned something. Remember that having the rooks is smoother than having the knight, the knights. But uh, having good control of the knights, for example, you can see that that my knight here is in the center. Is sometimes means that you are not exactly a beginner. When you have a good control of the knight, means that you usually are an advanced player. So see you the next occasion. Remember that Jesus Christ of Nazareth loves you much more than a microphone.